Well, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's ensure that we have some sound here for if you can hear me, please tell me where you are watching. Where are you supporting this live webinar? We are live and we have incredible discussion for you, but also I have a co-host. I have my co-host, military spouse, Circle of Influence Army leader, Lois, who's going to lead this discussion along with our special guest. So if you can hear me, please tell us where you are watching. And I'm watching here on my monitor. We are on. So thank you so much. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course our digital community. All of you who are out there supporting, please make a comment so that we can be notified that you are out there, as well as our community from Spouse Force. This is a Blue Star Careers webinar, and they are designed to connect our members with job opportunities, partnerships, and career pathways, while also raising awareness of the latest resources and connections we have in our network. Now, this whole month of July, it has been the perfect time to explore your career pathway without the pressure. So while hiring is very slow this time of the year, it is a perfect reason for you to enjoy and to engage in self-paced growth, learning, networking, and reflection. So I hope that all these webinars throughout the month have been insightful for you, and we're looking forward to continue to support you. Let me welcome my co-host, Lois, who is our military spouse circle of influence leader for the Army, and she's joining us, and she's going to lead the rest of the discussion. Lois, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm joining today from Garmisch, Germany. So
Wow.
I hope our connection stays stays online. But I wanted to just say to every other military spouse and family out there, if you're exploring, remote work or looking to break into tech, today's session will highlight how Per Scholas can help, especially for veterans and military spouses like myself, who are ready to launch their careers into the tech industry. So let's
Absolutely.
begin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lois. And I'm just put you on the spot if you have not yet researched how do you say hello and from like when we greet members from our Pacific or Hawaii, we say aloha. What would I say for our folks or our friends over in Germany? To be continued. Okay, let's begin. Thank you so much, Lois, for watching and the rest of your crew. Thank you very much again. Post your comments and let us know how we can support you and connect you with the right opportunity.
Hi, can everyone hear me? I just wanted to remind everyone to post your comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. Again, I'm tuning in from Garmisch, Germany. And if you could stick around till the end, we'll have time to connect and answer some of your questions. So I just wanted to start by saying a little bit about myself. I am a military spouse of 16 years. My husband is in the Army, 30 years actually this year. We are on our 8th move. This is our 2nd time to Germany. So we are very familiar with PCSing. Myself as a military spouse, I really know the challenges that spouses and military families face with employment, career gaps, trying to find remote work due to frequent moves and career transitions. So my job is to help empower, connect, and uplift as many military spouses and families as I can through community engagement, career development, and leadership support. And it's thanks to companies like Per Scholas who offer support and free training in spaces like IT, cybersecurity, software engineering, Salesforce, that spouses like myself can move into industries like tech, even though we do have those challenges. So I'd like to welcome George. George Darby is the Director of Veteran Recruitment and Partnerships. And I just wanted to hand over to you, George, to ask you a couple of questions. How did you get involved with Per Scholas? Why is it a good fit for you? And perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about your career journey.
Absolutely, I'd be glad to. So, wonderful introduction. Thank you. And, a lot of times we don't say this, but we appreciate all the sacrifices that spouses make. I have one. So, I know that journey. But so I'm retired Air Force. I spent just shy of about 21 years in the Air Force. I did recruiting most of that time. I was a career recruiter about probably 12, 13 years of my career. I was a recruiter. So, and I actually spent the last year of my career in Afghanistan with the Army. So I really found a new appreciation for my Army brothers and sisters during that time. It was awesome. So, what's more important is that after I retired, and this is I'm going to date myself, they didn't have anywhere near the type of that they have available for, soldiers, sailors, and airmen, and things of that nature that they have right now. So when I say this, a lot of people are aghast, but being a recruiter as long as I was, I applied for 80 recruiting jobs and was told no 80 times. Although I'd been a recruiter for 13, 14 years. So I'm like, how is this possible? Right. So I was blessed to find an opportunity. I'm going to, once again, date myself in 2014 with a company where I basically started their veteran hiring initiative. And at that point in time, that's what we called them. So, built it to scale. They took a chance on me. They told me no first, but then I was able to go to the recruiter and say, listen, I'm good at this. You give me a shot. So they called me in for an interview. I was hired in the span of about 2.5, almost 3 years. We hired over 700 veterans and military spouses.
Wow,
So
it's amazing.
yeah, well, thank you. And because I did that, I moved on to another company where I did the exact same thing. And I have been very fortunate to have a whole career doing what it is that I do. And I've just done it for different companies. So that brings me to my journey to Per Scholas. Once again, looking for a career change. I still wanted to do this work. I still wanted to help military connected individuals. They had this job. That's my title. I applied for it and I got it. And it's been really wonderful because Per Scholas is an organization of people who support. And if they don't know how to support, they learn how to support. Prior to my arrival, they didn't have anything like this. No military connected support initiative. All the support that I needed, all the resources that we need, and as opposed to getting people hired, now I look to provide opportunities. I actually call myself an opportunity broker because that is exactly what I provide. Opportunities for individuals to start careers in tech. So yeah, that's it. If that answers your question fully.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing all the information about yourself and about working at Per Scholas. I mean, it sounds like you've had an amazing journey. We need people like you, to help us when we do have those gaps in our careers, or we're moving, or we have to change jobs. So I want to, personally myself, thank you for supporting military families and spouses like myself to help us come back into the workforce or change the path that we are on, maybe a career change, or get the skills that we need that perhaps we couldn't maybe afford if we were to do some online courses. So with that said, let's transition now and let's learn some more about the training options and the support that Per Scholas has.
Absolutely. So I'll just run through several of the slides on the deck, and then we can continue the conversation. I've already introduced myself. That is me. Actually, my partner, Brianni, she works with me. She was not able to attend today, but I'll leave her information just in case, you want to hear it from her point of view, but I'll have it covered. So Per Scholas has been around, I have to change that, for about 30 years now. And what people call it is one of the best kept secrets in workforce development. It is 100% no cost. And it's one of the challenges when I approach transition senators and transition managers is that they think it's a scam, but it's not. I promise you, they've been doing this for a long time, and all the training courses are of no cost. And that includes any certification that's attached to whatever course that you end up choosing. Very important.
Yes.
How we train. So we have, industry informed technical training. We have professional development, and we actually have a pretty robust network of employer partners. Now, what's different between, I would say, the general Per Scholas learners and the people that come through Vets and Tech is that I look for military ready employers that have a track record of hiring military connected individuals. They understand that if they see job gaps in a military spouse's resume, that they're not hopping jobs, they're actually PCSing. So that's one of the things that I concentrate on as well, because that's very important. This is the evidence-based impact. 25K learners to date. We have about an 85% graduation rate, and we have about 80% people get job attainment within a year. Now, when we look at that number, that's because some people, they go through the training and decide that's not the way they want to go. And some of it is because people just don't report once we lose them. But one of the really cool things about Per Scholas is that we follow you post-graduation for 2 years. And that's whether you want to take another course, you want to upskill, whatever the alumni services have, they're available to you for about 2 years. Now, here's the learner life cycle. So, step one, obviously, is explore your training options, see what you qualify for, and see what it is that you're interested in. You apply and you move through the admissions process. And what I want to cover and be very, very transparent about is our training is immersive. You're going to be in class 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You're going to have 4 days of technical instruction where you're going to learn whatever course you're in. And every Friday is going to be a professional development day. So when we talk about professional development, we talk about resumes, LinkedIn profiles, elevator pitches. They do mock interviews. And one of the cool things that I've witnessed since I've been here is that a lot of potential employers actually conduct those mock interviews. So somebody could be looking at you, 4 or 5 weeks into your training and just waiting on you to graduate to pick you up. One of the cool things about that. Then you graduate, and as I spoke about earlier, this is where we're located, all these places. And as you can tell, if you look at the locations, a lot of our campuses are in close proximity to military installations. So what is that we are a DoD skill bridge approved provider. So if we have spouses here that are listening, if your husbands are close to separation or retirement, we are a viable option for them to take up via skill bridge. Last time I checked, about 80% of individuals who separate or retire from the military don't want to do what they did in the military. So we can help with that. And we know because the world is heading,
Right.
and because we know the world is heading towards tech, and we have all these different tech courses, once again, we can change your career trajectory if it's something that you're interested in. Minimum qualifications. So you heard me say earlier, when I first started working in this space as a whole, we had veteran hiring initiatives. And I used to always have to say, when I say veteran hiring initiatives, I also mean military spouses. I don't want you to just think as veterans. I used to have to physically say that every time I spoke about a veteran hiring initiative. But now we call it a military connected support initiative to be inclusive of everyone. I mean veterans, I mean Guard and Reserve, I mean, retirees, I mean military spouses, I mean dependents if they're 18 or older. All these individuals that were, definitely willing to assist if they're interested in learning more about tech. So here are the course types. I'll run through these pretty quickly because we can talk about this when we have our conversation. We have IT support, desktop support. As you see, it says suitable for all levels. We have software engineering. Some technical knowledge is recommended. You probably need to know a little bit so you can be successful in the course. Cybersecurity analyst, same thing. Cloud or AWS restart, you definitely want to have some technical knowledge before you start this course because it's a little bit more advanced. And if you don't live by a campus, right? So most courses are tied to a physical Per Scholas campus, right? But we do have a remote training team. And sometimes if you're not within, commutable distance, then you may have an opportunity to become part of our remote training team. There's some nuances there. I know it says we require candidates to live within the commutable distance, but like I said, there's some nuances there, and that's something that once you go through your admissions process, you know exactly what that thing is. Is it paid? It is not. You don't pay anything, nor do we pay you. So, but what we do have is several campuses that are GI Bill approved. Although the VA does not have to pay us for tuition, let's say if it's a veteran just separating and they don't have a job. If it's a campus that's GI Bill approved, they can still use their GI Bill funds to get their basic allowance for housing while they train with us. And those campuses are going to be Dallas, Seattle, the Bronx, New York, Phoenix, Arizona. I'm probably leaving the campus out. North Carolina, the whole state, because so if you're looking, it's Bragg or one of the other bases that you can use your GI Bill benefits there. Okay, so I will stop sharing and come back, and we can have a discussion.
So a question I had for you, George, is are all your courses offered at all locations, or do they vary by location and campus?
They vary by location and campus. They do. That is a great question. So
okay.
I see a question there, caught my eye. No, it's if you're 18 years or older and you qualify, you meet the minimum requirements, you can take our classes. Katrina asked that. Okay. So with that being said, it depends on the campus. And it's because campuses, they're different sizes. Like some campuses are smaller, some campuses are larger. So our campus in Atlanta offers everything because it's a huge campus. In New York, they offer everything because it's a huge campus. When you start talking about Seattle, their course offerings are smaller because it's a smaller campus. The best way to look at that is to go to perscholas.org, put in where you live, and you'll see exactly what is available to you.
Okay, and I can see a question from our audience. Someone asked, what is considered commutable distance? Is there a set distance that's considered to be within that campus, or
Like 60.
how does that work?
Don't quote me on this because I may be wrong, and that's usually when I love to have Brianna here because she can answer these questions. I'm the military guy, but I'll do my best. But you can fact check me on this, but I'm going to call it 60 miles. And if you email me, if you want to email me after, if I'm wrong, I'll get you the exact answer. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Can I ask what kind of companies or partners usually hire your graduates?
It's gonna be, guys that are in tech. So like tech systems, Amazon. I'm leaving people out. Tech systems, Amazon. All right, talk about that. We have about 800 employer partners. So you put me on the spot,
Okay.
and of course, I went blank. But yeah, they're gonna be all in tech. That's who we're gonna hire our people, and it's gonna be some lesser known companies, but they're tech companies. That's who pick us up.
Okay. Okay. And if I was to apply to George to this program, what would be the steps that I would take to do that?
Okay, you go to the website, you register your interest. It's going to ask you your location. Based on your location, it's going to show you what's offered to you. And if
Okay.
it's those things or something that are of interest of you, then you start the admissions process.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. I'm not going to inundate you with a lot of questions because I know there's so many questions. We could go on and on, but is there like a networking or mentorship type opportunities? I know you said you follow the members for 2 years after the program, but can someone get a mentor or have someone that they can, bounce questions off or get support from after they've graduated?
They can get, and thank you for that question because I did not mention this during my presentation, but we have a learner support team. And with our learner support team, we conduct what we call wraparound services, or what I like to refer to as total care. So we have licensed social workers there to help you through issues as you start experiencing things while you're training. We have a financial coach there. Both of them happen to be military spouses. Okay. So, and if you just need help on the military spouse front, they have that covered too. So yes, you definitely have a lot of support if you come to train with us, especially if you're part of the military connected community.
Okay. And just a couple of other questions. You said that there is some opportunity to participate remotely if you're not within that commutable distance. If I was to fill that gap and meet that requirement, do I need any particular type of technology to participate in the program?
This is for everyone, yes. To answer that question real quick before I get to this one. So our classes, depending on the campus, they have remote classes and they have in-person classes. So it also depends on the training track, right? Sometimes you have an option of whether or not you want to attend remotely or you want to attend in person.
Okay.
You and I had a small conversation before this started about how people learn. Some people need to sit inside a classroom, and other people are just fine doing this remotely. But it doesn't change the quality. Whether it's remote or you're sitting in the classroom, you're still going to have that immersive learning schedule where it's going to be 8 hours a day, Monday through Thursday technical instruction, professional development on Friday. Now, as far as the commutable distance, like I said, I'm going to get back with Laura to tell her exactly what that is. But once again, it really kind of depends on your admission journey. It really does.
Okay. And could someone, being a military spouse living overseas in Germany, could someone like myself participate from an overseas location, or do we really need to be based in the United States?
You need to be in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be in the United States.
Okay.
That came up, as a matter of fact, yesterday. And somebody was like, well, I'm going to be overseas. And I hate to tell people no, but that's one of the things that we have to tell people no about because it comes down to licensure. right, and operating in those countries and what it takes to do that.
Okay.
Trust me, we have enough hard enough time operating in the States, let alone for
Yes, and I mean, obviously, as we've experienced at the beginning of this call, there can be technical issues as well, with things coming in and out. So it may make it a little bit harder. And I understand there's
you're gonna need that.
rules. Yeah. Okay. Did you?
You're definitely gonna need that.
Yes, it will. I mean, as a military spouse that moves, as I said, this is our 8th move. There's always challenges. There's a little, differences, but we go back to the States and we go back overseas. So for anyone that is living overseas, like myself, as soon as you go back to the United States, you can always join Per Scholas and get that free technical training, which is amazing. I mean, the fact that it's free is just amazing. I think, is there any hidden costs that we're not aware of? But you said and you confirmed that it's 100% free, which I think it's amazing,
No.
an amazing opportunity. Because most technical courses that you would apply for online and do are quite expensive. So it's a really great opportunity for military families and military spouses out there. So I just wanted to remind everyone, if you have any questions or any comments, please post those questions online or in the chat. And if we don't get to them on this call, we will definitely connect with you later to answer any of your questions. But I want to thank you so much, George. We're going to get ready to wrap up. But I had one last question for you. Well, I've got a couple, but I don't want to put you on the spot too much.
No, you're good.
What is it
Put me
that
on.
inspires you the most about the future of Per Scholas?
Their willingness to grow this program, to scale this program, to be able to do more for the military community at large. This is great timing because yesterday I actually conducted a Vets in Tech overview because it's been a year since we launched. So I wanted to remind people why we do this. And one of the things that I said is that when you have a veteran or military spouse that comes through our training, it doesn't stop there. You're helping that person's family. You're helping the military connected community at large. And that's the impact. And I want to have more of that impact. That's what keeps me motivated. That's what excites me.
And is there one piece of advice that you would give to a military spouse or a veteran who's ready to take that next step?
Plan. And somebody asked a question about what happens if we get orders and you have to move. What I would tell you is this, because based on what you heard me say about going overseas, if you have to go overseas, of course, that's going to put a big hamper in your plans. But if you move to another state, you're just going to keep on going, to see if maybe you are in person, then you can see if you can start to move that online. That's why we have a learner support team to help you navigate that kind of stuff. Katrina. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, George, for leading that. I do want to.
I'm sorry,
I had a comment.
am I still with you? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we'll still hear you, Louis. I'm going to really quick share the website, what it looks like, so that because I know I found myself in trouble typing the wrong Per Scholas on the website, and it led me to something else. So this is what your website where you need to go. Make sure that you follow here. There's a 30 Per Scholas, and then here's are the locations, so you can explore where your nearest campus is, and then when in doubt, all you have to do is just meet us in the neighborhood because we have a partner profile there for our community here partner, and we're going to start continuously sharing all the latest activities that they have coming up, reminding you where to go, what to do, but also sharing any future activities that that the team and their local campuses might have available for some of you. So we know life gets hectic and it happens. And so when you just, don't want to keep track and don't want to keep those notes, remember we are here for you in the neighborhood. I also want to share really quick, Louis, sorry, taking some time from your spotlight, but
No problem.
the team Per Scholas, the hiring team, because listen, they have some great training opportunities. But guess what? We also found out they also have some really nice job opportunities as well. If you choose to at some point be an employee. Now, like George said, plan, plan, plan. So perhaps you go through their training and you said, you know what? I loved it so much. I want to work for them. We are going to have Tim, one of the recruiting leaders from their team, not from the training. So you got to think about this is totally separate. It's coming over to our remote work options, and he's going to respond to all of your questions about how you get your foot in the door, opportunities for their company, Per Scholas, maybe some of those remote opportunities that they have available, or maybe some of them are hybrid. But again, just participate and network with us so that you get yourself more absolutely in the opportunity. And then Louis, how about we send some shout outs right now to some of the members who are watching? What do you think, George?
I think that's great. Hey, and you can act if you go to see Tim, you can ask him about our employer partners too, since I could only name two.
That's right. There we go. We can certainly put Tim on the spot and say, George said you have the whole hot list of all the employer partners. So please tell us who they are. And so I'm going to quickly go down the names here and put some Katrina. Thank you so much. We have Karel. Thank you, Karel. Aurora. Valerie. Thank you, Valerie Guzman. We also have a couple of other ones here, right here. Let me go to our sponsors group and our Facebook community. We have Victoria. Thank you, Marta. Tanani Mir. Sorry about that. Crystal. Thank you, Crystal Marie. Thank you, Zuzi. Nisa. Thank you again, Jennifer McMillan and Web of Me. Thank you so much for supporting. Martha again. And then, of course, in our sponsors community and our digital platform out there. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Amy, Sierra, for supporting. And again, we can go on and on and on sharing shout outs, but thank you so much for all of you who show up every Wednesday to support these opportunities, because these are all for you, team. We're here building great, incredible connections and opportunities. And with Louis's support, thank you so much for leading this opportunity. Louis, I turn it back to you.
I just wanted to say thank you, George, for doing the job that you do. I think you do an amazing job, and I can't believe it's 100% free. So I'm so excited to share this with our community and other military spouses and families like myself. And just thank you for your time and the effort that you put into making a program like this work for people like myself that have those gaps and need that help. It's amazing. Thank you.
No, it's no thanks necessary, but you're welcome just the same. It's, once again, having served as long as I did and experienced the hardships when you come out, this is my mission, and it has been wonderful. Before I go, somebody asked about Fort Campbell. I'm going to say that's in Kentucky, right? Because I'm an Air Force guy. Yeah, we have a campus in northern Kentucky. It might not be on the website because it's newer. So whoever asked that question, if you want to get with me, we can talk about it.
Absolutely. And yep, it's right here. Yeah. And if you go to our neighborhood, just so that we don't inbox George too much, I mean, of course, you can follow him on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn, so go follow him and blast them with lots of great messages of appreciation. But you can also email us, and we can share. Can we share your email, George? So your direct contact?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You can share.
It will take him a couple of weeks to get back to you, but just bear with us. But we can go to our digital platform or neighborhood, so we know for sure. We can share his contact, but for sure find him on LinkedIn. And then before we leave, George, let's put you on the spot and say, what's our call to action? Is there anything you particularly are working on? How can our community support you? We all unify together and help you and move forward with you.
Honestly, like I said earlier, one of the first things I said is that we're one of the best kept secrets. And somebody posted right here, I never knew about it. That's what I want to change, especially in our community. I want to change that because I think absolutely everybody should be able to you know, uh, take the opportunity to use our classes and learn yourself a new skill, upskill, especially people who want to change careers. So it's called perpetuation. Tell one person, and then you make sure that person tells one person. And then it gets around to everybody, and then I don't hear, I never knew about you, because we've all done this, right? And it's all for our community. You wouldn't be here if you weren't a part of it. So, like I said, it's for the community, most definitely. Not for me, for the community.
Awesome.
That is it, Laura. That is me. Share the opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much. Louis, any last thoughts or any good notes from Germany as you continue to navigate your own career journey?
Yes, I think, for me, I didn't know about it. I didn't know about Per Scholas, and I 100% will be sharing it with as many people as possible, because the opportunity is, fantastic. Who doesn't want to upskill and do it for free, and then have people supporting them and following them 2 years down the track or into a new role or to help them get a job? I mean, I think that's really, really great, and that's exactly what spouses like myself and military families that I meet here or overseas or wherever we move, that's exactly what we are looking for. So I'm so glad that we've actually connected and learned more about you today. And I myself will be sharing your story, George, to as many people as I can,
Yeah.
because I know from the people that reach out to me every day, there's so many people out there that will work with you and really love to be a part of this program. So again, just thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to hop off this call. It's like, I think 8 o'clock at night here in Germany, but I'm going to hop off the call and I'm going to start sharing this straight away.
So I will say this. If somebody asks you what it costs, tell them time, because they have to dedicate their
Right. Great answer.
and time is one of our most valuable resources. But tell them it absolutely costs time, nothing else.
Yes. Okay, that's a great answer, and I will do exactly that. Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, George. We'll look forward to the collaboration. And again, find George on LinkedIn. Find his program in all the resources in the neighborhood, and then find Louis in Germany. And until then, thank you so much for supporting. We'll see you next week.